Weather. We want to check in now with Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan. And Tim, much like the zoo animals behind us, I think we have a jaguar here behind us. Oh, that's a lion right there. There's one of the birds. You know, we're all trying to
I want to see a
cool.
mud wallow. I think a mud wallow sounds pretty good when it gets this hot, you know?
Yeah, that's true. What's a mud wallow? You talking about like wallowing in the mud?
That's why I want to do some research and find out. Can I take a surfboard in a mud wallow?
You can.
I bet Curtis has been there.
Yeah, he probably has.
Where isn't he?
Everywhere.
My goodness. What about those showers? Well, they're everywhere, but they're not lasting long. Let's take a look, folks. Let's go to the radar. In other words, the showers aren't lasting any more than about 20 to 30 minutes in any location, but I should call them downpours, and I should probably call them thunderstorms because they are putting out lightning. So if you have plans over the next couple of hours, let's take a look. This is what's happened over the last 6 hours. Can you see the general motion from the north to the south? And that supports the idea that the front is on the way, and it will offer us a moderation from the heat. And at least for the first time in 7 days, we will not have a heat advisory tomorrow or on Friday. But again, let me get back to this evening. So the more intense colors indicate where the downpours are and the thunderstorms. This is actually just the Doppler radar picking up a wind shift where the winds go from light northwest to gusty out of the northeast. And that's where probably some new downpours will develop. So let me zoom on in. The heaviest storm was actually over the airport about an hour ago. It continues to settle to the south and to the east. It's not as strong as it was, but there it is stretching between town and the beaches and then down over the southern half of Duval, continuing to drop to the south. So over about the next hour, most folks over the southern half of Duval, you might get some out toward the beaches, but especially northern half of St. Johns County and northern half of Clay County, you're going to get about a 20 to 30 minute downpour, and there will be some lightning with that particular activity. I'm going to go to Storm Core to show you. Notice it would have to show yellow to red for these to be particularly strong. So outside of some lightning, we're not really calling these strongs. Maybe some wind gusts of 20 or 30 miles per hour. Maybe zoom in a little bit closer, and we'll slide on down south. And yeah, so this really just gets to a moderate. So certainly heavy dark clouds, heavy rain, but not lasting long. Different scenario here. In case you missed it, Ernesto, as forecast, did become a hurricane as it pulled away from Puerto Rico, and it's still forecast now to become a major hurricane at Cat 3, and the core going right over Bermuda on Saturday. So therefore, a hurricane watch has now been issued for Bermuda. But this is what we were talking about earlier, and indications were really by last Friday that if in fact the front dropped down here, that's a surface reflection of a major shift in the steering currents. And that's why, indeed, Ernesto, with full scientific confidence, by the way, folks, that's missing us by over 600 miles. And the front will eventually not only take away the heat, or at least the reasons for heat advisory, it's also going to bring in some briefly drier air. So notice by tomorrow morning, we're pretty much just going to have some coastal showers. And as we go through the day tomorrow, the farther to the south you are, you'll get a shower. But for those of you from Duval north, by the afternoon, you'll probably be dry. And all of us should be dry on Friday. Here we go. So for tomorrow, 88. Now, I don't want to deceive you. It's not going to be chilly. It's still going to feel like 92, but because today it felt like at least 108, it's going to feel about 15 degrees cooler tomorrow. Pretty nice. Again, winds are going to be picking up because of the front, but then the swell will be picking up, so the most dangerous surf will be Friday and on Saturday, although I do think some swell will be felt. Speaking of the zoo, maybe you want to go tomorrow under the canopy, 88 degrees, nice breeze. If I wasn't working, I'd go to the zoo tomorrow. Good location. And again on Friday, highs of only 88 degrees. Saturday morning, a nice start, maybe some upper 60s. Then the heat gradually returns, especially as we get in from Sunday toward Monday.